role Coffee County plays in the election racketeering case not only raises questions about a potential criminal enterprise, but the integrity of future elections across the country.
Yeah, how much should voters be worried that proprietary data from Dominion voting systems was secretly copied and publicly shared, perhaps? Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis says the answer depends on who you ask.
That's right, Russ and Christine. Dominion and the Secretary of State's office believe that data breach, while unauthorized, does not pose a serious threat. They point to the success of the 2022 election, which went off without a hitch nearly 2 years after the Coffee County incident. But others see it differently.
Praise the Lord for Fonnie Willis.
At the Gaines Chapel AME Church in Coffee County, members of the Coalition for Good Governance spent an August afternoon preaching to the choir.
If we have no accountability, there will be no effective change.
We are worried that this could affect not just Coffee, but the whole state. 4
of the 19 defendants in the Fulton County elections case are accused of computer theft in Coffee County. Surveillance videos starting in January 2021 showed different groups of skeptical cyber analysts allowed inside the secured area of the Coffee County Elections Office. No votes were changed, but some made copies of software neither Dominion nor the state authorized. Others, well, we're not sure why they were there.
Ms. Hampton, why did Mike Lindell, also known as my fellow guy, come to Douglas, Georgia on February 21, 2021?
I plead the fifth on that.
Misty Hampton was the Coffee County election supervisor before being forced to resign over allegations of faking her timesheets, something she denies doing. She's facing 7 counts in Fulton County. In a series of videotaped depositions from an earlier civil case, Hampton admitted she let third parties into the office, including once when the building was closed for a holiday.
I was the one that was physically touching machines, yes.
Right, okay. But basically, he was trying to figure out how they work, right? Fair to say?
I would say so.
The Secretary of State's office replaced the equipment and server in Coffee County. The GBI is nearing the end of its investigation. And yet, there's an irony here in Coffee County. Did the people who thought that they were exposing evidence of election fraud actually guarantee the insecurity of future Georgia elections?
This search for voter fraud or election fraud that some of the Trump allies found themselves doing here in Coffee County has, in fact, created an even more exploitable system.
Marilyn Marks heads up the nonprofit suing the Secretary of State over its decision to use computer touchpads for voting. According to court filings, the Dominion data copied in Coffee County and other states have been shared online. A lot.
So many people have access to it, can create malware, and create a huge risk for the 2024 election.
Add to that the release of the Halderman report this summer, written by an election software expert who was allowed to examine the Dominion system. The report found a vulnerability in the code that can be exploited to spread malware from a county's central election management system. This attack is especially dangerous because it is scalable. Attackers do not need access to each individual machine. That's why critics want Georgia to go back to bubble-in paper ballots. You would feed into a scanner, just like mail-in ballots.
You don't have to trust that the computer marked the ballot correctly.
A Dominion spokesman said, nearly 3 years after the 2020 election, no credible evidence has ever been presented to any court or authority that voting machines did anything other than count votes accurately and reliably in all states. No one from the Secretary of State's office would agree to an interview for this story. But in June, Chief Operating Officer Gabriel Sterling talked to Georgia Gang contributor Martha Zoller on her radio show.
To do the kind of attack they're talking about doing, it would take hundreds of people in thousands of locations and nobody noticing what they're doing.
2 federal security agencies agreed any attack would be difficult to conduct undetected. Some want Georgia to install an updated Dominion software system certified earlier this year. But Sterling said there's not enough time before November municipal elections to work out any bugs.
This system has never been used anywhere in America. I'm not about to take the state of Georgia and put it in a brand new car and drive it around not knowing how it works.
The plan is to install the update after the 2024 election.
And that is our great fear.
But in voting, perception has become reality for many in this country, both for those who wrongly think the last election was stolen and those here who wonder about the next one.
I am extremely worried about the 2024 election.
Now, Alex Halderman, the expert who says he found those vulnerabilities, challenged his critics, saying in court filings that any attack would not be discovered until it was too late. He said the only way to make sure is for the voter to read their ballot after it's printed, read the names that go with the QR code. But a UGA study found less than half of Georgians actually do that. Did you guys do that when you voted?
Absolutely not. Did you?
I did, because the election worker said look at it and make sure that's who you voted for.
That's the way to make sure that you did vote. But there's some concern that with the bubble in, the plaintiffs want the bubble in, right?
Okay.
Because that way there's no computer in between you and your vote. The state says that if you do that, then you run the risk of overvotes. Remember that, where you might bubble in a second name in that category, and then your ballot gets rejected. Well, the plaintiffs say that's an incorrect defense, because if the scanners are working properly, it should catch that ballot, spit it out, and then you get a chance to vote again. That's why they're pushing for that bubble-in ballot. But most of the country uses those kind. They don't use the BMDs, the ballot marking devices that we do here in Georgia.
Right. Well, bottom line, the people who copied that software in Coffee County had no business doing it.
Which is why they've been indicted, Russ.
There you go.
All right. Randy, thanks so much.